I've got Charlie, Connor, and Luke again. And we're going to start off with the Champions League coming up. We'll first start with tomorrow's game, probably the biggest game of the night. It's United PSG. United coming off the back of a 4-1 win, and PSG are missing some players. And you know what? United, they've done it before. Of course, they've a bit of luck. But Neymar's playing today. He wasn't playing a couple of seasons ago, I think it was now. And it will definitely be a test for United's defence. I just want to go to Luke and ask him. Simple question, really. Do you have a chance?
I think looking at PSG's predicted team that we definitely have a chance. They're missing Marquinhos, they're missing Verratti. I don't know why you're laughing, mate.
I'm telling you what's going to happen right now. This is my prediction.
This is what's going to happen, mate. The Showtime Reds are rocking up to the Park of Princes and they're beating them 1-0.
Neymar, Mbappe imagine Mbappe against Maguire. He turns like a fucking.
Obviously, PSG have the better attack, but if you look at our midfield, it's shits all over. Ander Herrera, Idrissa Gueye, and Sarabia, I think, was in their predicted team. So if we can get a hold of the game in there, we might stand a chance. Plus, they don't have Marquinhos, which means Diallo is playing at the back. They also don't have their first choice left back in Bernat. And I wouldn't say Florenzi is a very competent right back. He usually plays centre mid sometimes, so we can definitely get at them if we get enough possession.
Is Marquinhos not fit? I thought he was.
I think Tuchel said he was out just there.
Yeah, they actually have a few injuries. Like Neymar wasn't even involved at all on the game
he was rested
on Friday.
Yeah.
Which obviously he's probably been rested for the game against United, but you don't know, he might not be at full fitness for the United game, but obviously he's Neymar, so you never know what to expect from him.
Yeah, I think the difficulty is stopping Neymar and Mbappe. Honestly, Maguire up against Mbappe, fuck me. That is where think about it this way. I honestly think if you just if Neymar gets the ball and Mbappe get on the ball, which they will do at some points, you can guarantee they're going to carve out a chance with your defence.
Yeah, well, I was kind of taking a piss earlier. I do expect PSG to score, obviously, but there was reports from Manchester Evening News just there that Cavani and Maguire didn't travel with the squad, so it might mean Boyd Lindelof at the back. Now, I don't know how accurate those reports are, but I mean, it might be a blessing in disguise, really, because at least Boyd and Lindelof have the pace.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think, look, it doesn't really matter what defense you're going to put in. It doesn't matter if you've got whoever. It's a difficult task to stop Neymar and Mbappe and Di Maria, yeah? He'll be playing, yeah. So, I don't know. PSG are not as strong as they would like to be, but they're at home because you traveled. So, I don't know. I personally fancy PSG. I think the key one for United is would you start Van de Beek and keep Pogba on the bench, or what's happening with that then, Mike?
I would actually go with the Fred and McTominay double pivot. Now I know they're not the sauciest of players. Obviously Pogba and Matic, their reputations are better, but for the big games, Fred and McTominay, they've done the job. If you look at any game against the top six last season, you'll see that our midfield is mainly made up of Fred, McTominay, and either Andreas or Bruno when he came in. I know they're not as well known, but I'd say they do better jobs. You know what you're going to get out of them. They're going to hold the shape. They're going to, keep it simple. And I actually think Fred, he just sets the tempo extremely well. He can switch play with both feet, and he always looks forward. Whenever he's in the team, Bruno seems to get the ball a lot more because Fred actually looks between the lines and doesn't try as difficult passes as Pogba.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Pogba sat out. I don't think he's been the best. I don't think he's not a bad player to bring on, is he? Go. I think up front, Greenwood, Martial, Rashford. Is that not? I'm pretty sure that's guaranteed now.
It might not be. We might start a back three, which would mean we have to take one of the front three out. Where I would personally, if we did that, start split strikers with Rashford and Martial on either side and try and get in behind them like that. I definitely actually start Fred and McTominay together, but I doubt they'll do it because we just played them against Newcastle. But Fred and McTominay, they're more solid, like, and we definitely need the solidity going to Paris.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I think the thing about the Fred McTominay situation as well is they're not sort of guaranteed a spot in the team, so they're actually being made to work for their spot there. So like if he does put faith in them and starts them, like I think they will have a good game. Like you've seen them, like Fred has the ability to do really well, being compared to like Keita last season, when they're both in really good form, and they're two of the best midfielders in the league at one stage. Like McTominay, obviously, like he's a big physical player, presence in midfield, and like the French players, like for PSG, like they're not used to sort of big challenges from, like, obviously in the Premier League, give people like one of my favorite players, Oriol Romeu, putting in big challenges on people, but yeah, you just don't really have that in France, do you?
Yeah, look, let's be real. Like PSG could easily just throw this game. I just think, like, if you look up the 1v1 battles, Neymar against Wan-Bissaka, fuck me. Like it's one of those games. Like, I think if Neymar and Mbappe just decide that, like, look, we're gonna just take the game by the scruff of the neck, like it's game over because they are unplayable at times. But like, I don't think, especially the injuries they've had, I didn't know they had that many injuries. They're missing Paredes, he should start in midfield. Like he's a very good player.
He did get injured though. He went off injured early on, so
yeah, he's out. He and Verratti are out.
That's what I was saying.
Herrera in midfield
I was saying,
with
like,
Idrissa Gueye probably in midfield as well.
Yeah.
Why is it branded that Neymar is up against Wan-Bissaka when Neymar's going to play number 10 and Mbappe is going to play wide left?
Because he drifts out to the left.
Yeah, but like I'd fancy Wan-Bissaka 1v1 against anyone, even if it is Mbappe. Like he pocketed Sterling multiple times. You know, like defensively, he's actually proven himself. Now, if he goes too far forward, yeah, we could get caught out. And if Mbappe finds himself against any of his centre backs, then we're in trouble. But if we can get Wan-Bissaka to just sit there and do the job on him, I think we might be all right. But they might be my famous last word.
Yeah, definitely. I think. So yeah, no rumors about Maguire. To be honest, with you, like, I actually think that's a huge miss. If I'm being honest, like we've discussed before, Tellez or Shaw? Surely Tellez, no?
Both. Back three, Shaw left centre back and Tellez left wing back. That's personally, I mean, it's either Fred and McTominay double pivot or back five, and I'm leaning towards the back five. That's just what I think Ollie would do.
What about Van de Beek? No, should he not be in the team?
I personally wouldn't like. He's done well when he's come on, but I think we're going to try and counter attack, and he's not the most mobile. Like we definitely have quicker player that could do the job. Not better, but like we're going to have to spring with pace, and if we're slowing it down, they're going to get back in their shape. I'd say our best chance of a goal is definitely on the break during their shit defence pretty much. I mean, they have a nobody playing at left back. Lorenzi isn't that solid. Diallo and Kimpembe, I think Kimpembe is very good, but Diallo, he's not great if we're being honest. I fancy our front three up against them.
Yeah, Marquinhos is the big miss. I think he's fantastic. He can play centre, he can play DN, he can play centre back. And every time I watch, I remember he's played against Liverpool a couple of times and he's just been sensational, like very good. Just lastly, predictions. Like I can go first. I'm going to go with 3-1 PSG.
I'm going 2-1 United. I just think we can do it, honestly. Like,
back it,
if we're going in thinking we're going to lose, we may as well not support the team at all.
Exactly. Like that's track.
I know I said we were going to lose to Newcastle, but that's not the point. All right, we're going to beat PSG.
Right, Luke.
I think the main thing is who can get. I think whoever has the most possession will probably win the game, because if you look at both defenses, they're not great. So whoever has more chance of sustaining attacks, like if we just sit there and let PSG have the ball, then Neymar and Mbappe will get in eventually. So if we can get on top of them in the midfield and attack their defense, we can definitely score. And I think our midfield is better than theirs. If they had Verratti, I think they might just shade it. But I'm going to back United as well, even though it might sound deluded. I'll go for a 2-1 win as well.
And Connor?
Yeah, like there's there's two ways of looking at it. Like United, like obviously the last time they played in Paris, no one gave them a chance and then they won. They've put in big performances against big teams that you didn't really expect from them. But I do think if Neymar is playing PSG, I think they will be a bit too strong for them. So I'm going to go 2-0 to PSG. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw or if United did win. But I'm just going to back PSG 2-0.
Yeah, I'll definitely be watching. It's going to be absolute. I just feel like it could be the way football can go, and the no fans, and I just think it could be an absolute cracker. Like it could be a goal fest, and
I can see it going one of two ways. I think it's either United are in the game and it's very close, or PSG destroy us. Like I don't think there's any two ways about it. It depends what United show up.
Exactly, it does depend on what United show up. It depends on like what team Ollie plays and stuff. And I'll definitely be interested to see how United do get on, because if you lose tomorrow and then you have to play Chelsea, and it could all go downhill again. Yeah, that's tomorrow. On Wednesday, we have Liverpool, Ajax in Ajax. My thoughts on it, we'll move on to the Premier League later, but like it is a bit deflating. I think we'll still beat them. I think they've lost all their good players. I think we'll still beat them. Matchup is probably going to be fine. Thiago's been assessed before Ajax, which is surprising. I thought he'd be out till for a couple of weeks, and apparently he has a chance. Keita's back. Alisson's going to be back by the end of the month. So there is positives there. Obviously, the Van Dijk injury is tough to take. But I still think with the team we have will beat Ajax. I don't really know much about Ajax since they sold like basically all the players they got to the semi-final. But I think we just need just for the confidence, we just need to put down a marker. Like even if it's a scrappy win, I'll take it. We just need to make sure we get out of this group. Because once you get out of a group, anything can actually happen. Like no matter if we've lost or not, anything can happen in this competition. We just need to hope for the best, really. And I'll be interested to see what team he plays. If Thiago doesn't play, which I doubt it, I'd say he'll go for Fabinho. He'll go for Fabinho and Gomez or Matip. And then you play Henderson, Cole midfield. I think our best midfield is Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago. But with Van Dijk gone, I don't know. Matip and Gomez have never played with each other, so I'm not really sure. But I want to ask Connor, what are your thoughts going into this? Like, are you deflated or are you still confident that we're going to get the job done?
Well, obviously the big news is the Van Dijk injury and Thiago possibly being out as well. Yeah. But I mean, there are positives. Keita's back in. Alisson he's not far away from being back to fitness. Obviously, the Thiago injury, it isn't as bad as people were sort of fearing at first, I don't think.
Yeah.
So obviously, like the Van Dijk thing is massive, but I think Fabinho will slot in at centre back there, whether it's with Gomez or with Matip. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I think he's well able to do a job there. The midfield, I think he will have to switch it up a bit. Yeah. Obviously, Thiago not there. I think Henderson will play again.
Yeah.
Hopefully Keita will be in. I wouldn't be surprised if he did play Wijnaldum. He didn't play at the weekend.
Yeah. I
And
think
then
he's
the front,
guaranteed, to be honest.
yeah, Wijnaldum is probably guaranteed.
Yeah.
But also if you look at the front three, against Everton, like obviously we're not really meant to be talking about the Premier League yet, but the front three, like their movement, and everything this
Exactly.
weekend, it was really good.
Oh yeah.
And also I thought when Diego Jota came on, I think he's been like excellent. The amount of
Yeah.
like space he's finding, so I think he could be an important player as well.
Yeah. Look, like it's obviously difficult to like kind of come into get up for a Champions League game when the player that has been so important for you has got like he's not like he's out for the rest of the season more or less. But I think we just have to realize we have to like back our own players. Like all these players are Premier League champions. All of them, most of them are European Cup winners. All of them, I think, are apart from Jota, of course. But like we still have a very good team. But I would rather play Fabinho centre back. So I think he should. I just rate him as a centre back. I think he's solid. Like it's still a solid centre back partnership. We'll need to adapt. We're probably not going to play high enough line. Arnold and Robinson might not have a lot of license to go forward, but this Ajax team, to be honest, like now one thing I would say is our European away form is shit. Like it's so bad. But it'd be a great like start if we just put that record to bed and that kind of hoodoo to bed. Because I think this isn't with no Van Dijk now, Atlanta score loads of goals. Ajax are always gonna be dangerous. Like we need to make sure we get out of this group. It I can't look when the match comes around. I'll obviously be hyped up for it, but it's just like fuck me, like losing your best player, your most important player. It's tough, but the way Salah and Mane are going, I'm confident we'll still score goals. Um, Charlie, Luke, what's your kind of thoughts of how Liverpool's kind of stand now with no Van Dijk? Do you think we can still have a good like? Well, I mean a good season. I mean win the big trophies.
Uh, Obviously he's a big loss, but it depends. Like some Liverpool fans are saying, "Oh, we'll just wait till January and we can get another centre back in." I don't think that's really the case because he's irreplaceable, Van Dijk. Like you're not just going to get in one of the best centre back in the world in January. Like no matter who you get in, he's not going to be as good as Van Dijk. So your defense is going to be a bit worse off this season. It's just whether you can keep winning the games like you were last season. I think you'll definitely concede more goals, but going back to the Ajax game, I don't think they're anywhere near the team they once were. So I do expect you to beat them.
Yeah, I agree. I, I don't know. It's just so hard to get up for it. Like, it's just so deflating. Like, it's like, fuck this. Like, because Van Dijk was one of those players in those big European games, big Premier League games. Like, yes, he's there. And like, don't get me wrong, I rate the other players. I don't know. I suppose I'll deal with it in due course. But Charlie, who do you think needs to step up now for Liverpool?
Well, I think like obviously you've lost your main defender, but there's still plenty of leaders on the pitch like Robertson, Henderson. Don't really know who else. Those two anyway are the main leaders I'd say in your team. But like, yeah, I suppose, but he can't play on Wednesday. So, but I think you're finding yourself in the exact same position as you were on Sunday. Like you're going in and you're not really sure what to expect. The players could either be there feeling sorry for themselves, or they could, put in a high quality performance and show the fans that it's not all doom and gloom. But I actually think you might draw this one. Like as you said, your form, it's your away form. It's not the best.
It's not. Ajax, no, I agree. It's not. It's honestly
Ajax,
not.
Even though they might not have the same personnel, they have a great manager. They have a great way of playing football. They never actually change what they do. And, going away to Ajax, it's never going to be easy, even if they're not as good as they once were.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy there's no fans because I would have been worried then. I'm just happy Henderson's back, to be honest with you. Like, I just trust. Honestly, when he's on the pitch, I just back us to and yeah, I like the way you were going on about the response. And if you saw the response after the Villa game, like that Everton game was a very good performance. Like there was a response there. I don't care what anyone says. It's obviously disappointed how it ended now, but like there was definitely performance there, and I thought we were fantastic. We just need to hopefully just keep players fit. Like we've had a bad luck with injury so far, and COVID hitting the team. I still like the thing is with the Champions League, like literally anything can happen, like literally anything. So I don't see why we can't go far into the tournament. And look, if we get a handy last 16 draw, you know, a team we can beat a team in a quarter final, and then suddenly we're in a semis. Like same with United. It's same with United. Like you can go far into the tournament, like especially league without playing. So, I'm trying to call this one. I'm gonna go. I'll back us. I'm gonna win 2. I'd say 2-0 to Liverpool. 2-0. Connor.
I think it's like the United match could go either way. I was sort of looking at Ajax's form in the Eredivisie, and they won their last game 5-1. Apart from that, they've sort of been winning each game by a goal, like against teams that aren't even that good at all. So I don't think they're great at the moment. Liverpool, like I know they'll be without Van Dijk. I think they're still well able to go there, and I think they're going to win 3-0. I'm going to back it.
Yes, firm it. There we go. Right, boys. United fans incoming 3-0 Ajax.
I'm going to go with 2-1 to Liverpool.
Yes.
I think Promes will get in behind you once and score. If he's not, I don't know if he's available, but if he is, I think he'll score. And yeah, I do expect you to be dominant to beat them
though. Charlie?
Yeah, as I said, I think you're going to draw. I'll go with 1-1. I think, you don't have Van Dijk, but either way, you were leaking goals anyway. Like, how many goals have you conceded this season? Like 7 at Villa, 3 against Leeds, 2 against Everton. And there's more games that I'm leaving out. So you weren't necessarily watertight even when Van Dijk was back there. And Ajax, they have a bit of attacking quality with Promes and Neres. So I'm backing them to score at least 1, and I'm going with 1-0.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'll probably get up for it when the game comes around. And I think the Champions League just isn't the same without fans. But anyway, we move on. Chelsea against Sevilla, Europa League winners. They won that competition. I think who did they beat in the semis again? Oh yeah, they beat United in the semis, and I think I remember. I don't know, but I remember they just. Oh no, it was a last minute or something. Yeah, it was, and they got to the final, and you didn't. I actually do remember it. But yeah, no, I rate Sevilla. Chelsea are just dodgy, man. Honestly, they are dodgy. Like I don't know what anyone else. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but like. I could see Sevilla nickel. Like Sevilla are good in Europe. Like, and especially against a team like Chelsea who are inexperienced, leaking goals, they could definitely cause problems. Like, Charlie, how you feeling about this game anyway? Like,
I'm back in Sevilla. I think in Europe they're excellent. Like they won a load of Europa Leagues. Against United. They conceded a lot of chances, but they held out and got a bit of a lucky winner. I know Maguire, Lindelof, and Wan-Bissaka were sort of asleep for Luke de Jong's goal, but you have to accept it. I think I don't care what you say. Frank Lampard is not a good manager. He's just not. He shouldn't be there if we're being honest. Only because he's a club legend. We've touched on this already, so I'm not going to go too much into it. But he's clearly not getting the best out of those players at the moment. 3-3 to Southampton, or 3-3 against Southampton. That's poor. That can't be accepted with the money they spent. I know there needs to be time for the players to gel and all, but that's awful. And it's not the first time either. 3-3 against West Brom as well. These are teams Chelsea should easily be beaten, especially with spending 150 mil plus or whatever they spent.
Yeah, I think as well, if you're looking at Sevilla, obviously traditionally they seem to drop out most years and seem to win the Europa League nearly every time. But this year if you look at their group, they've I think Krasnodar and Rennes as well as
Yeah.
Chelsea, and they'll be looking at that and they'll be thinking if they can beat Chelsea in the first game, they'd be hot favourites to win the group then, or at least progress
Yeah.
to the last
Definitely.
16. So I think this is a massive game. You obviously saw like against Southampton, against West Brom, like Chelsea, their defence is woeful. And I think if you look at the way Lampard has been set up, he sort of lets the attackers just sort of roam around the pitch, which works in attack, but that they've no defensive shape then because their players are all over the place. If a team counterattacks them quickly, like they just throw on the back line, which is obviously they have no confidence their back line at all at the moment. So I reckon Sevilla will win this by possibly a couple of goals.
Before we do predictions.
Well, this is how I see it. If we look at the United Sevilla game from last season, I think we all know who the better team was. Like United dominated that game, but we didn't finish our chances. But if we just look at Chelsea, they're just not at it really. I mean, Havertz and Werner started playing on the weekend, and they got some goals and assists, which about time really. But like I think I might actually back Sevilla because Chelsea at the back. I mean, they brought in Chilwell.
Yeah.
He's not an upgrade defensively on the other left backs they had. Yeah, he's more athletic than Marcus Alonso, and he's better going forward than the other two. But like, he's not an upgrade defensively. I think Chelsea would have been better off not signing Havertz or Werner, or like get one out of the two and actually put some money into a decent centre back. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't think a free transfer in Thiago Silva was just going to shore them up at the back. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Like,
idiotic, really.
what's the
And-
Zuma hype? What's the Zuma hype on Twitter? He's awful. Did
You
see
saw
his
him on the
statement?
weekend, leaving a back pass short, and then he just walks after it. Now,
Oh.
as well, with the way Chelsea are playing, conceding 3 goals to West Brom, conceding 3 goals to Southampton, you wouldn't be surprised, even after they got the shittest group in the Champions League, that you wouldn't be surprised if they went and dropped points to at least one of those shit teams, either away from home or at Stamford Bridge, because they're just not in form and they're conceding way too many goals.
Yeah, so we'll do predictions then. I'm going 2-1 Sevilla.
I think Chelsea's sponsor curse will continue, and I think they'll lose 3-2. I know I said Sevilla could win by a couple of goals. I think I'm nearly adamant that Sevilla will score 3 goals. I'm not sure what Chelsea will get. Like obviously Chelsea are like woeful at the back, and we've seen they are quite high scoring matches. So yeah, 3-2. I'm going to say to Sevilla.
Charlie?
Yeah, I'm going for Sevilla to score 3 as well, but 3-1.
And Luke.
I'm going for 2-1 Sevilla as well, like you.
So there's only one game, but it's Classic FC, and they're against Porto, so I'm guessing we're just going to say City win. We're all going for City win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's sort of, they're going to have to put in a big performance. Obviously, they'll want this to be the year that they actually do something in Europe. And looking at City's group, like obviously they always seem to get an easy group, but I think they'll win all their group matches comfortably and get knocked out in the round of 16 again. So I'm going to say City to win 4-0.
I'll say 3-0 City. 3-1, sorry, 3-1. I had 3-1 in my head before.
I will go with 3 now.
And Charlie?
I'll go 2-0. I think Diaz is actually very impressive so far. Like, he looks quite solid. Only United could go to Benfica and sign Lindelof when Diaz was playing right beside him. Absolute clowns, but we moved.
Yeah, we moved.